Looked unbeatable in the women's 100-metre sprint. The great Jamaican wore the appearance of someone who owned the race before it was over. But 27-year-old Kerry Johnson from Queensland had form on the board that had to be treated with respect.
And Dunn got away very, very well. So too did Davis. Ottey's running fast. So too is Johnson. Johnson running very fast, as is Douglas in lane 9. Ottey's got the field beaten. Johnson's running brilliantly. It's close, but Johnson's got second. Ottey, a convincing winner in a very, very fast 11.02. A great run by Merlene Ottey, but a great run also by Kerry Johnson. And I would think that she's probably lowered her national record yet again.
We go to Brendan Telfer and John Davies.
There's the lineup for the first heat in the women's 100 metres. This is round 1. And included in the field is 16-year-old Briar Toop, a schoolgirl from Havelock North and Hawke's Bay, who of course ran so brilliantly here at the Commonwealth Games trials in November. Also in this field is the world's #1 sprinter in 1989. There she is, 29-year-old Merlene Ottey. Had a disappointing time at Seoul when she was plagued by injury and illness, but came back superbly in 1989 and has assumed the mantle of Flojo over this distance. Also in the field is Simone Jacobs from England, 4th in the 200 metres at 1986 Games. And in lane number 6 is Erin Tierney from the Cook Islands, Elizabeth Ojumbu from Kenya in lane number 7. It's the first 4, and Merlene Ottey and Simone Jacobs quickly into their work, but a very good run coming here from Briar Toop. She's not overawed at all. It's Ottey, Simone Jacobs, and third place is Briar Toop. So the schoolgirl from Havelock North is comfortably through to the second round.
Elizabeth Onyambu on this side, you see she gets a very poor start, but watch Merlene Ottey, third from this side, and how brilliantly she gets out. And as the crowd sort of roared because they could see that Briar Toop in lane 4 was doing so well in this heat, it lifted Merlene Ottey and she sprinted off down the track now. But a great run here from our 16-year-old New Zealand champion Briar Toop to take third. And in second, Simone Jacobs. That's the way they finish. Simone Jacobs second, and a good run, Briar Toop not far out, third place.
This is the lineup for the second heat of the women.
All right, here's the result then of that race. Merlene Ottey 11.07, Briar Toop a meritorious run for third, 11.51, and she'll go through to round 2 of the women's 100 metres. Here's Michelle Seymour of New Zealand.
Heat of the women's 100 metres with New Zealander Michelle Seymour running in lane number 7. The fastest in the field is Pauline Davis, number 2 in the Commonwealth in 1989. Just a point about that first heat, Briar Toop, a very fine performance, breaking her own New Zealand record with a time of 11.51. Pauline Davis is in 1, Stephanie Douglas of England is in 2, Kerry Johnson of Australia is in 3, Nadine Halliday from Canada in 4, Oliver Archie from Uganda in 5, Michelle Freeman from Jamaica in 6, Seymour in 7, and Sallyanne Short in lane number 8. But out is the Australian champion Kerry Ann Johnson, running very well indeed. It's Johnson on the outside, is Sallyanne Short, but it's Johnson that gets there. Down on the inside, Pauline Davis looked very comfortable coming through in second place. The first 5 all go through to the second round, so the big guns like Pauline Davis not expending any unnecessary energy. But the Australian Kerry Johnson got as far as the second round at Seoul, a 26-year-old who missed the final in 1986, but she's made a very promising start in 1990.
Now watch the start. There was a little bit of unshaky starting there. Oliver Archie from Uganda was very slow getting out of the blocks because she wasn't really steady, but down in lane 3 it's Kerry Johnson who's really powering into the lead now, and you can see Michelle Seymour from New Zealand, the All Black, was last. The crowd roared now and she was coming through. The big question here, the Australian certainly won. There's a lineup of 3 in second, third and fourth. Who is going to be 5th? So it's second, third and fourth there going through okay, and if the Michelle Seymour is 5th, she will get through into the next round, and she clearly is, you can see, coming up to the line to do that.
Okay, Michelle Seymour in 5th place. She will get through to the next round, but 11.25, a fairly snappy time by Johnson of Australia in heat 2 of the women's 100. Heat 3 of the women's 100 metres.
This is the third heat in the women's 100 metres, and starting in this particular heat. And lane number 3 is Paula Dunn, silver medalist at the 1986 Commonwealth Games in Edinburgh. Also in this field is the New Zealander Helen Piravano, who will run alongside of her in lane number 4. Judith Robinson from Northern Ireland in 1. In Kai Yi from Hong Kong in 2. France Garot from Canada in lane 5. Carmen Smart from Wales in 6. And the Scottish champion Janice Nielsen in lane number 7. Very windy conditions continue to gust here. It varies from a headwind to a tailwind from one heat to the next. The last heat was run into a slight headwind. Prior to that, it was a tailwind of over 3 metres per second. And away first time in this heat, and a very good start by Carmen Smart of Wales on the outside, and a good run here coming from Helen Piravano. Dunn alongside of her. It's Paula Dunn from Helen Piravano, and third place going to Carmen Smart. But another New Zealander safely through to the second round. Good run there from Helen Piravano from Hastings. That's the two Hawke's Bay girls, Briar Toop and Helen Piravano, who have run extremely well here today in the 100 metres.
Well, we were excited by our sprinting, these women sprinters in New Zealand at the November National Championships, and they're doing it again for us here. Helen Piravano got out very well, slowed down through that 25 metres, and now she picks it up, and she's really giving Paula Dunn, a very experienced sprinter, a really good go out here. And the Welsh lady Carmen Smart on the outside is third, but it's a dip on the line, and it'll be very close, but possibly Helen Piravano might have won that.
Well, here's the official result. Paula Dunn, in fact, got up there on the line to win an 11.76. Helen Piravano in second. It means that all three New Zealand sprinters, Briar Toop, Michelle Seymour and Helen Piravano, are through to round 2 of the women's 100 metres. That's the sprinting action for the moment. Stand by now for live action. Field alongside her, Michelle Seymour from Paraparaumu and Helen Piravano from Hastings to run in the outside lane in lane 9. All right, let's take a look at the first semi-final, and it's the first 4 in each heat go through to the final, and then the fastest loser over the 2 semi-finals. Let's go to semi-final number 1.
29-year-old Jamaican Merlene Ottey, the world's #1 sprinter in 1989, taking her place in lane 3 of this women's semi-final. Janice Nielsen of Scotland is in 1. Paula Dunn, the silver medalist from Edinburgh, is in lane 2. Ottey in 3. Michelle Seymour, the 24-year-old from Paraparaumu, in 4. Simone Jacobs from England in 5. Sallyanne Short from Wales in 6. Esme Lawrence from Canada in 7. France Garot from Canada in 8. And Helen Piravano from New Zealand in lane 9. Away second time after a false start. The first 4 to qualify, and coming through very strongly is Simone Jacobs, but now Ottey gets into her work, and she's going to do it easily. Merlene Ottey wins this first semi-final, and coming home in second place was Sallyanne Short of Wales, just ahead of Simone Jacobs. But Merlene Ottey, the world's #1 sprinter and hot favourite for the gold medal, doing it easily. Look, she's not even out of breath. It's just a very easy run for her through to the final.
Well, look at the start here. It's all very even at this moment, but down in the middle of the track you can see the English girl Simone Jacobs gets a very good start, and it seems that Merlene Ottey in lane 3 isn't really doing very well at all. But watch the gear shift now. There it goes, and she just cruises ahead. This lightly built Jamaican lady, just a beautiful, wonderful sprinter. And Sallyanne Short surprising everybody coming into second place. Ottey wins it easily, unofficially 11.21. Second is Sallyanne Short. Third is going to be Simone Jacobs, and fourth on the line is Paula Dunn.
Well, Merlene Ottey holds the Commonwealth record for the 100 metres at 10.87. The Games record, 11 seconds flat, held by Angela Isajenko of Canada, although we all know what's happened to her recently. She's been involved in the drug scandal as well. But for Michelle Seymour of Paraparaumu, that's a new New Zealand all-comers record, beating Raylene Boyle's record set back in 1974. Comers record for Michelle Seymour, but it certainly was for Merlene Ottey, beating Raylene Boyle's record set at the last Commonwealth Games. Let's go to the second semi-final, and it's available right now.
The lineup for the women's 100 metres second semi-final, with the New Zealander Briar Toop running in lane number 5. She ran extremely well yesterday, seemed totally unnerved by the big occasion, and has a good chance here of making the final if she can finish in the first 4, or she may even go through as the fastest loser from the 2 semi-finals. Archie from Uganda is in 1, Kerry Johnson of Australia in 2. This is Pauline Davis, who will run in lane 6, the fastest in this field, number 2 in the Commonwealth in 1989. Briar Toop is to her left in lane number 5. Kerry Johnson is in 3, the 26-year-old from Brisbane. In lane 4 is Stephanie Douglas. In lane 7 is Nadine Halliday, the 18-year-old Canadian. In lane 8 is the Welsh record holder and title holder Carmen Short. And in lane number 9 is Elizabeth Oyambu from Kenya. This is Davis in 6, scratching in 1, Archie from Uganda in 2. Briar Toop, the 16-year-old from Hastings. And away second time in this second semi-final, and Briar Toop just a little slow away there, but coming through in lane number 3 is Kerry Johnson, and a big finish coming from Pauline Davis as well, and now Toop gets into a stride. Yes, she's got there. She's in 4th place. Magnificent finish from the 16-year-old. She looked a little slow coming out of the blocks, but once she started to wind up at the 50-metre mark, she came with a thundering finish and is nipped in for 4th place, and she is into the final of the 100 metres, along with the woman who won this race, Kerry Johnson of Australia.
Well, Briar Toop didn't get the best start, as you can see, but she was better than Elizabeth Onyambu from Kenya on the outside. But the action comes initially from Carmen Smart of Wales, Pauline Davis from the Bahamas now coming into it as well, and further in the Australian Kerry Johnson. Johnson running, but keep your eyes on Briar Toop. Johnson wins it. Second is going to be Pauline Davis, and 4 go through to the final, remember. It's England's Stephanie Douglas just edging out. A great run from Briar Toop for 4th place. And the time, by the way, for the winner, 11.19, which is legal, and that is an excellent time.
So Briar Toop makes it through to the final of the 100. And Telford with John Davies, and with them in the commentary box, former New Zealand sprint champion Wendy Brown.
I haven't seen Deborah. Oh, there she is.
Ram.
Thank you.
This is Keith Quinn at the swimming.
So we're looking at the lineup for the women's 100 metres here at Mount Smart Stadium.
In lane 2, representing England, Paula Dunn.
And lane number 2 is Paula Dunn, the 25-year-old who won the silver medal in 1986, ran 11.57 in the
In
semi-finals.
lane 3, representing Bahamas,
And one of the big threats to Merlene Ottey is Pauline Davis, the 29-year-old from the Bahamas, number 2 in the Commonwealth, semi-finalist at Seoul.
Lane 4, representing Jamaica, Merlene Ottey.
Ranked in the world's top 10 in this event every year for the last 10 years. Gold medal in 200 metres in 1982 and
Lane
silver in
5,
1986 in this event.
Australia, Kerry Johnson.
The real wild card in the heats and semi-finals. Kerry Johnson ran a very fast 11.19 in the semi-finals
In
this
lane
afternoon.
6, representing Wales, Sallyanne Short.
The Welsh champion, just 21 years of age, 11.47 in the semi-finals. From Wales,
In lane
Sallyanne
7,
Short.
representing New Zealand, Briar Toop.
Just 16 years of age, 4 years younger than anyone else in this field, and the first finalist from this country in this 100-metre race since Wendy Brown in
representing
1974.
England, Simone Jacobs.
4th in 1986 is 23-year-old Simone Jacobs from England. And completing
And
the
in lane
lineup,
9,
number 304 and lane
England,
number 9 is Stephanie Douglas
Douglas
from England. Well, we're very pleased to have with us in the commentary box Wendy Brown. Wendy, firstly, some thoughts on the performance of Briar Toop so far?
Oh, excellent. Lovely to see a New Zealand record. You can only do your PB, and to get a New Zealand record is marvellous.
What about this woman, Merlene Ottey?
Well, I would pick Merlene to win. She's running really hot with Johnson close behind, I'd say.
Those are the two form runners, Merlene Ottey in lane number 4 and Kerry Johnson alongside of her in 5. Look for Davis in lane 3 and Briar Toop, who's run so well as she's improved with every round, seems totally unfazed by this big occasion, a crowd of over 20,000 people here, but it's not bothering the 16-year-old schoolgirl. The women's 100 metres final. And jumping the gun is the little 19-year-old from Uganda, Oliver Achi, the Ugandan national champion. I remember seeing her run at the Kenyan Commonwealth Games trials where she came from nowhere, and in fact it was her performances there at the Kenyan trials, oddly enough, that got a selection to New Zealand.
Well, there was a very clear break by Oliver R.C., but I'd like to mention also that Michelle Seymour is missing from this final, a New Zealander, and she missed out on qualifying by 0.02 of a second. Very close, but she ran very well in the semi-final. But we do have Briar Toop in there. That's wonderful to see. And this final, I think, is going to be a tough race between Kerry Johnson and Merlene Ottey. Watch them in lane 4 and lane 5.
Paula Dunn, the English woman who was second in 1986, is in 2. In fact, hasn't been beaten by another English sprinter since she was beaten by Heather Oakes in this final 4 years ago. Davis in 3, Ottey in 4, Johnson in 5, Short in 6, Toop in 7, Jacobs, the English woman, in 8, and Stephanie Douglas, the third English woman, in lane 9. the women's 100 metres final. And away second time, and Merlene Ottey just a little slow, and the best start coming from Kerry Johnson. Now at the 50-metre mark, Merlene Ottey gets into a work. It's Merlene Ottey that gets there close to second, Johnson second, and in third place, Pauline Davis from the Bahamas. But as expected, it's Merlene Ottey, 11:02. Just outside the Commonwealth record, but a New Zealand all-comers record for 29-year-old Merlene Ottey from Jamaica. She gets the gold medal to go with her gold medal in the 200 metres from Brisbane in 1982. Superb performance from Ottey. A little slow out, but once she hit top gear, they said goodbye to her.
Been pretty typical of a Brendan, but the wind 4.37 metres per second following wind, so it will not count in the record books, but the victory, the gold medal, certainly will. Merlene Ottey shown that she's the form runner here this time at the Commonwealth Games in 1990. A little unsteady start from Stephanie Douglas on the outside, and she, I think, would get what we call a flyer, and you can see she's well away on this lane this side. In the middle of the track, Kerry Johnson from Australia got off also, but Merlene Ottey really starts to stretch out now, gets those long legs moving. Look at the vigour in her arms. She blitzes the field in this last 25 metres, eases up a little going to the line, 11:02. Kerry Johnson from Australia satisfied with second, and a good run from Pauline Davis in the third place. But Briar Toop, you can see, has finished in sixth place. That's a great run by her to finish in this 1990 final that way. Here they go again. Watch in the middle of the track. You see Kerry Johnson doing exceptionally well, getting out there nicely. Now Merlene Ottey, who we saw in the semi-final, also gear up from 50 metres out. She does it again, gets into that top gear, really winds it up with her arms. Just look how vigorously she runs. She's a beautiful runner, and she certainly deserves the title of 1990 Commonwealth gold medalist.
Marvellous comeback by Merlene Ottey. Well, Wendy Brown, talk us through the style and performance of Merlene Ottey.
She's not a really good stylist. You see her right arm going right back, but very, very strong, very relaxed. Look at her face. No effort there at all, just relaxed, good high knee lift, excellent leg speed. Pauline Davis struggling there. If she'd perhaps relaxed a bit more, she could have got Johnson, I think.
Fluent, fast and happy. That's Merlene Ottey, who's made such a wonderful comeback after being injured in Seoul in 1988. She was also sick while she's there at the Olympic Games and had planned to retire from sprinting after the 1988 Seoul Olympics, but she was so disappointed with her performance that she still had something to prove to herself, so she decided to set her target on both Auckland 1990 and Barcelona in 1992. Well, she's got the first leg of the double, the gold medal at the Commonwealth Games. Now she's got her targets on the next Olympics. But let's not forget Briar Toop, a marvellous performance from her. She's down with Rod Dixon at the finish line.
Briar Toop, what a marvellous race you ran to get into the final.
Yeah.
Fourth place in your semi-final with a time of 11.55, which is a New Zealand record. How good was it out there?
Oh, it was great. The atmosphere was wonderful, the crowd. I was just happy just to be in the final run with the top athletes. I really enjoyed it.
This has given you a tremendous experience to go on with. You're young enough now to go on and challenge the world.
Yeah, well, I'm going to hopefully Bulgaria in July, August. So I needed something else just to pull me through. And right, she went there, so it's just really great.
And the relay coming up?
Yeah, that's my last day. I've got 200 metres tomorrow. The heats for that. So I'll just wait and see how that goes tomorrow.
Briar, it's fantastic to have you in the final, and good luck.